The Career and Academic Profile tool, the CAP tool, is Butte College's way of determining which English and math courses are recommended for students. It is mandatory that every student complete this tool whether this is their first year at college, if they're returning to Butte after time off, or are transferring from another college or four-year university. Current students will also have to use the CAP tool to update their academic program and goal. This video will walk a student that graduated high school over 10 years ago and has never taken a college course through the CAP tool. If you just graduated high school, or are returning to Butte College after time off, or are transferring from another college, you can find the corresponding tutorials on the Career and Academic Assessment website. To prepare, you will need to know which high school English and math courses you completed. If you don't have that information, self-report to the best of your memory. You will also need to know your Butte College email address and password. These can be found in the confirmation email you received from Butte College after you completed your application. If you're having trouble finding it, search for MyBC in your email. If you still can't locate it, contact Butte College User Support at 530-895-2925 between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday, or between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. on Friday to request a password reset. To start, visit the Butte College Career and Academic Assessment Office webpage at butte.edu/assessment. We suggest using Chrome or Firefox. If you are using a public computer, we recommend you open an incognito window to protect your personal information. Once you've reached the assessment department, click on the CAP tool. That will open a new login page. If you have accessed your Butte student email on the computer you are using, it may open straight into the CAP tool. If so, skip the next few steps. From this page, enter your Butte College student email. Be sure to include @student.butte.edu. Once you hit next, you will be taken to the Butte College login page. Now you will enter the password you received in your confirmation email from Butte. Remember that the password is case sensitive. Once entered, you may be prompted to change your password to something more secure and to set up some security questions. You can do this now or do this at a later date, but remember, you only have 10 logins before you will be forced to do so. When the page asks you if you would like to stay logged in, select No if you are on any computer other than your own personal computer. Now that you have entered the CAP tool, the first page will ask you if you would like to change your programs and/or educational goal. Next, select your primary program of study, or, if you would like to stay in the same program, reselect. CAs and CCs are certificate options, while AA and AS are associate's degrees. -T programs are meant to streamline transferring to a four-year college. Next, you will be asked whether you plan to transfer to a four-year college. Underneath that, select the appropriate educational goal. You will also be able to select a second program of study if you wish to, but this is optional. The next few steps will walk a non-traditional student, a student that graduated from high school over 10 years ago and has never taken a college course, through the steps necessary to complete the CAP tool. Click Next. As you have never taken an English course at the college level and are currently not in high school, select No. If these options do apply to you, use one of our other tutorials found on the Career and Academic Assessment website. On this page, select No if it's been over 10 years since you were in high school. If you graduated from high school less than 10 years ago, use the corresponding tutorial. Now we will be determining your recommended math course. Select Next. Just as with English, this tutorial is meant for students that have not taken any college math courses and who graduated from high school over 10 years ago. Select No. This page will ask you a few different questions to determine which math courses should be recommended to you. First, enter whether or not you graduated high school. If you answered no, you will then be asked whether or not you attended high school. If you select yes to either question, you will be prompted to fill in how many years it's been since you attended. The next part of this page asks the highest math course you've passed. If you're unsure or have never completed a math course, indicate that and hit Next. If you do remember the highest math course you completed, select it from the drop box. If you select Pre-Algebra, Algebra 1, or Geometry, you will be asked if you completed an algebra course. If no, hit Next. If your highest math course was Algebra 2, Trigonometry, Pre-Calculus, AP Statistics, Calculus or higher, or Statistics, or if you selected yes on the last question, the tool will then ask how many years it's been since you successfully completed an algebra course. Once you finish entering the information requested, hit Next. With your math course entered, the next page will show a summary of all the steps we just completed. Look over each one and make sure the information is correct. Once you are certain it is, click Submit. You're almost done. This page will show you the recommended courses for your first year at Butte College. It is a tool you'll use when meeting with a counselor and signing up for your first classes. The courses highlighted in gold are recommended according to your program of study and which courses you completed in high school. English 2 and English 3 cover the same material, but English 3 contains an extra unit for additional support. Click on the descriptions for more information. Lastly, you will have received a confirmation email in your student email. To make sure your CAP tool successfully went through, visit your portal and select Student Email on the right-hand side of the screen. You will have received a confirmation email from us that lists the same information you saw on the last page of the CAP tool. If you don't see the email, try selecting the Other folder at the top of your inbox. If you still can't find the confirmation email, either try the CAP tool again or contact the Career and Academic Assessment Center at 530-895-2511 between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday, or between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. on Friday, or come by our office on the first floor of the Student Administrative Services building in room 110 at the Butte College main campus during our office hours. Congratulations! You have completed the Career and Academic Profile tool and are ready for your next steps at Butte College.